Hey guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today I want to be covering the top 5 Lightroom Mobile little tips, tricks, and hacks that you guys can use on a day-to-day basis, because I use them on a day-to-day basis inside a Lightroom Mobile that don't really stand out. So these are going to be things that are a little bit hidden, but they're going to speed up your workflow like absolute crazy. And just before we do dive into today's video, I wanted to let you know that my brand new course, The Beginner's Guide to Consistently Taking Good Photos, is out and about. So you guys can go and check that out in the link in the description if that sounds like it's something of interest to you. And without further ado, let's dive into today's video. So something that not a lot of people use and not a lot of people know about is color ranges. Now, what is a color range? Well, if we head into the photo here and we dive into the masking tab, you can see I've already edited this photo, but let's just tap on a new mask and then we're going to come down to color range. Now, what this is going to do is this is going to allow us to select a color, and very, very well, it's going to show us exactly where each color is. So let's just say, for example, I want to just be affecting the kind of, maybe not the oranges because we're going to get skin tones, maybe these blues in the background here. So as you can see, it's masked out everything that is roughly this color. Now we can change how much is and isn't masked by this refine slider here. So we can drop it down and it's going to get really selective, really nitpick that blue. Or if we increase it like crazy, as you can see, it gets a little bit more loosey-goosey. So we're going to refine it just a little bit, maybe something like this. Let's have a look at exactly what it is selecting here. All right, so I'm happy with that. And the idea here is you can select and change individual colors a lot. So instead of just being able to control them in the HSL tab where you can control the hue, saturation, and luminance, you can do everything you want to in here, which is really, really nice. So first thing I'm going to do is just drop the exposure ever so slightly. This is going to add a little bit more contrast. I'm going to do that with the blacks as well and the shadows. Just going to kind of give a little bit more pop to the image. It's going to make my girlfriend just stand out a little bit more as well. We can also change the temperature of it all. As you can see, that's really only selecting the blues that we selected, I should be saying. And I might just make it a little bit more green, which is going to give it a little bit more of an aqua vibe. And then we might desaturate it ever so slightly. And there we go. I think that's looking great. And these color ranges can be used for any single color. So yeah, in my opinion, this is one of the most handy tips that you can kind of use, and a little handy hack, if you would say. And yeah, this is going to get your photos to a completely different level. All right, moving on, and let's keep on the theme of color. Let's say you took a photo and you don't like the overall color tone of the image. And let's say you dove into your temperature and your tint, and it really wasn't what you were after. You know, you've played around with the warmth, you've played around with the, you know, if it's going to be blue or purple or whatever, but it's just something isn't right. Well, this little tip here should be able to sort that out for you. If you head into the color tab here and you tap on grading, and then you can see these 4 circles at the top. If you tap on the last one, this is the global color grading. So this is going to change the colors for your entire shot. And what you can do here is you can make your shot any of these colors. So if you want to make it a little bit warmer, you can do so. If you want to make it a little bit more green for some reason, if you want to do that, purple, blue, whatever the case, you can do so. So what I'm going to do here is, sure, I may have been able to do this in the temperature setting, but it's not going to be as refined, and it's also not going to get me the exact same result. But I'm going to make this shot just a little bit more blue. So as you can see here, I'm sliding this little slider back and forward, and this is going to be the saturation control. And then of course, this one here is the hue control. So we're going to get this into a nice tone of blue, and we're just going to dial the saturation back. But in a nutshell, this is exactly how this works. And I do this for every single shot that I edit. It just gives a little bit more of a stylized touch, and it makes sure that you are in full control. Sorry, it makes sure that you are in full control. All right, next up we have auto masks. Now, auto masks are a really interesting one because, man, in the last year and a half, Adobe has gone so hard with auto masks. It's wild. So what you want to do is you want to come over to the masking tab here, and you want to create a new mask. And now you can select the sky and you can select the subject. These are the 2 auto masks here. So let's just say, for example, we wanted to select the sky. All right, that's always far from ideal when you get a phone call in the middle of recording a screen recording on your phone. But anyway, here we are. We have got the auto mask sorted. So all that happened there is I hit select sky, it loaded, and now it's selected the sky. Now, it hasn't absolutely nailed it, but it's got me like 99% of the way there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to add to the mask. I'm going to come into the brush here, and then I'm just going to slowly but surely paint back a little bit more of the sky. I don't want to make it too crazy. Actually, they may be mountains over there. I believe they are. And then all I want to do here, I know it's a little bit rough, it's not ideal, but we're going to do another one as well, is I'm just going to increase the exposure of the sky ever so slightly. And I like that just a little bit more. And we're going to come in here and create another auto mask. We're going to select the subject. Let's see how well it does there. Boom. In my opinion, Wow, that has nailed it all the way down to the hair. Sure, it missed a few little hair strands, but you know, it got all of these ones in here. So to me, that's looking amazing. It's probably missed a little bit around the rock here, but to be honest with you, this really isn't gonna make all that much of a difference because all we're gonna do here is just slightly increase the exposure, ever so slightly. Now, auto masks are gonna save you a load of time because, you know, I haven't just sat there, spent, you know, 10 minutes trying to paint out, you know, the sky or, you know, my girlfriend here, whatever the case. So this is the reason why auto masks are super, super important. And yeah, they're gonna speed up your workflow like no tomorrow. It's all AI generated, everything is nowadays. So you might as well use all the tools that Lightroom gives you. All right, now this next one is gonna be a quick one, and you may have already seen me do it a few times while we've been editing, but it's the how to do a before and after. Now, it's really important in my opinion to be able to track the progress of your edits. And all you need to do here is you just have the image exactly like this, and you just tap and hold, and there you go. You see the before, you let go, and your edit's back on there. And this is just to make sure, at least I do this all the time, to make sure I'm not pushing something too far. It's a little bit easy to get out of hand and out of control with all the adjustments you can do, especially when you're a beginner editor, and this is by far the best way to keep track of that. So like I said, you just tap and hold, it's gonna show you the before, your release, and your edits are back on there. All right, and then finally, let's talk about exporting, because for some strange reason, the export settings, the default export settings are not the best export settings. So let's dive into what the best export settings are for your photos. Okay, so you finished your edit and now you wanna come up to the top here and you wanna press this little share button. Then what you are gonna wanna do is hit save to camera roll, but before you do that, you wanna select these little switches here, and this is what you should be, I guess, left with. So what you want to do here is you want to make sure you're exporting in JPEG. This should be set standard, and then the dimensions are already set to small. In my opinion, this is not the best way to, I guess, export your photos. Either largest available dimensions, or if you are uploading to Instagram, what you want to do here is come into custom and put this to 2700, not 27,000, 2700 pixels, and you should be good to go from there. And then you want to come into quality, hit 100%, the tick in the top right corner, and you are good to go. They are my top 5 Lightroom mobile hacks for 2023. I hope they're gonna speed up your Lightroom editing workflow, your Lightroom mobile editing workflow at that, and I hope this is gonna make you a better editor. If you learned anything from today's video, let me know what it was down in the comments below. If you're new around here, a subscribe would mean the absolute world. And as always, guys, I will catch you in the next one. Peace.